Welcome back. The Estel Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues on DCTV Sports. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us as we reach the championship game of the Groob Classic for 2025. What a difference a year makes. This time last year, Defiance was trying to find some offense. They dropped both games. Tonight, they're trying to win 2 games and keep some hardware in their own case. Coach Lehman joining us right now. Coach, before we preview also another unbeaten team in St. Francis, let's rewind and break down Saturday. I know that you had talked about it in the postgame, but defense, you hold Bowling Green to 20 points. They're trying to find themselves. Arguably, their best player only played half of a half. But at the same time, you still have to be able to communicate. I know that's one thing that you've been stressing on. Break the whole picture down for us.
Yeah, I think, they were dealt an unfortunate hand Saturday night with an injury or whatever happened with number one. But I think we dictated a lot of, what went wrong for them. I think we pressured them and we ran some guys off the three-point line. So I think our defense, really dictated the outcome. I don't think it was, their misfortune more so than us just playing very well. So it was good to see. We communicated well defensively. We pressured well. I think that was the best game we've put together, not even looking at the score, but just the effort and everything we were able to do.
It's one thing to take away an opportunity. A steal is a lost possession. You cashed in at the other end. You turned a lot of defense into offense. Is that something you're looking to do more?
Yeah, we got more deflections. We not necessarily steals off the dribble, but just impacting passes and impacting driving lanes. So I think, we were able to pressure them in certain situations that led to turnovers that created offense and really sparked us.
Different coaches have a different term for it. I've heard daggers, I've heard ledges, but basically, if you can't secure the ball, keep it alive. Maybe tap it to a teammate. Do you keep a category like that?
We keep track of deflections, and that's something that we refer to. And, how much of an impact are you really having on the game defensively? Because I think, steals is something, it's an outcome where you might not have done a whole lot, but the ball ends up in your hands. But deflections are effort-based, and those are, awareness. So we keep track of deflections, and I think that's a better indicator of team defense.
Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about balance. And it's been different players. In particular, now that we've got the proper name to the proper number, but you get some underclassmen making some contributions, double-digit contributions to join your captains. Break down, I guess, the overall roster, and are you on pace where you thought you'd be about this point in time of the year?
I think we've still got some room to improve. We just got a couple guys back this weekend. We've got young guys contributing. We've got a balance of veterans that have been around a while. We've got some seniors that haven't been around a ton. So it's a good blend of guys with experience and inexperience, but I think we're far from a finished product. I think, we can improve. I think we've played well, but there's definite rooms for improvement. And we've got guys, like I just said, that haven't been around, but now that they're back, I think we can get it clicking even more.
Well, let's go ahead and mention one of those guys, Brez Zippel in particular. 9 points. And again, turning a lot of defense into offense. Traditionally, at least what do you expect his role to be moving forward?
He's going to be the utility man. He's going to be a guy that can defend. He's adds some versatility defensively where he can guard 1 through 5. Offensively, he can move a little bit. He hasn't, proven that he can shoot it great at the varsity level, but he is capable of shooting it and also attacking and scoring inside. So I think as he gets healthier, people are going to start to see that versatility.
Let's go ahead and break down tonight's opponent, St. Francis, winning handily after they got a little bit of a test in the first half against Anthony Wayne. But, man, when they flipped that switch, they just looked like a different team. And let's start with the obvious notable height, 6'8", 6'9", 6'11", and I believe another 6'11". Tough to practice against that. You've got some height of your own. How do you attack the interior? What do you do?
We've got to play physically, and we've got to have our best rebounding night of the year. They are big, and I think that, it adds some matchup issues for anybody, but their guards are really what make them go. So I think as good as their bigs are and as long as they are, I think it's their guard play that's their motor. And we're going to have to keep their guards out of the paint. We're going to have to defend the three-point line well. And then, like I just said, it's got to be our best rebounding night of the year.
You beat me to it. We talked about him before we actually hit the record button here. Heck, their point guard is the straw that stirs the drink, and he's smooth. He doesn't look like he forces anything. He lets the game come to him, but he's also the type of guy that can kick it into another gear, and next thing you know, you think you're playing against a completely different guy. Does he draw multiple defenders? Do you face guard him all night? How do you keep him in check?
He's not going to draw multiple defenders, but he's one that we're going to be aware on where he's at all times, and he's somebody that we're going to pressure. Logan Hutchison, similar in stature. He's a guy that I think can apply some pressure, but we got to be smart about it. We can't give him easy lanes to the paint, but then he can very easily step back and hit jumpers and three-pointers. So he's a tough guard. He's somebody we're going to rotate guys on, but he is going to be 1A in our concerns defensively.
Talked with Coach Kashmarek a little bit after their win against Anthony Wayne. 60 points offensively seems to be the line of demarcation for them. If they hit 60 or better, they feel confident in a win. I talked with you last week. You were thinking 50. Now, clearly, they want to get up and down the court. You will run when it's there. But do you want the salsa hot tonight, or does it need to be a little bit more mild?
I think, they don't mind it being a low-scoring game. So I don't have any indication one way or the other. I think they have offensive weapons, but I think their defense kind of goes unheralded. They defend very, very well. And that's what Anthony Wayne came out red hot, scored 15 or 17 in the first quarter, and then, it went dry the rest of the game. So I think they don't mind it being a low-scoring game. A couple years ago when we beat them in the championship, it was low-scoring. Last year when they beat Anthony Wayne in the championship, it was low scoring. So they don't mind one bit if it's a low scoring game. They're going to buckle down and guard. So I think it's going to be whoever values possessions a little bit more and takes care of the ball.
So we take a look at turnovers. That's the column to watch then tonight.
I believe so.
What's this group got to do to win?
Take care of the ball. And I think be competitive. I think you got to look teams in the eye, and we can't, allow them to come in and be the big brother, the bigger school, and they have tremendous athletes, and they've got size, but we've got some fighters, and if we believe we can do it, I think we can stick with them.
Chip on your shoulder tonight?
100%.
Take it with you all the way through Christmas. Best of luck to you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Coach Lehman joining us. We're going to take a quick time out. Our player profile is sophomore standout. He's one of many, Josiah Schlatter. Don't you go anywhere. More of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues right after this. It is the championship game of the Group Classic, and you're watching DCTV Sports.